Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. Yeah, man, it's been a little bit since I made a video. Yeah, I have to admit, I dealt with a health issue. Dealt with some illness. Also, I had to move from one place to the next. Move out of an apartment and everything. Yeah, so it's kind of took me out for a little bit, man. But I'm back, and I appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me, and so now what I want to talk to you guys about, I want to talk to a group of people that I don't really get a chance to talk to that much, and I like to address this group, especially when I look at the current state of affairs in the United States. Yes, I would like to talk to the younger folks, the people that are like 21 to 40 years old, especially those that are in this age group and you belong to a marginalized group, as they call it, black, brown, women, the LGBTQ community, Yeah, I want to address this group, that 21 to 40 year olds that belong to, what they call marginalized groups, because I see right now, when I see what's going on in America right now, I can understand that people who are in this group probably don't feel very safe right now in the United States. You probably don't feel very welcome in the United States. And you're probably losing that sense of belonging, if you ever had it. Yeah, so I'm sure that you're trying to figure things out as far as what you want to do, as far as right now and even in your future, because even with the economy and the current job market in the United States, just a lot of things are just not looking really good, not looking very promising for you. And so, just like I would advise people in my age group, the over 50, the same advice goes towards people that are in that 21 to 40 age group, especially those that are black and brown, women, the LGBTQ community. Yeah, people that are falling into that category of people, you really should be thinking about your overseas options as well. Because these are not great times right now in America. And I just don't see things getting any better. Not now, not in the future, not in the next few years or so. So, you should be looking at what options you have outside of the United States. Now, if you're in this group that I'm talking to and you don't have a passport, that's something that you should be working on getting right now. All right? And I know it does cost money, but you should try to find some kind of way to get your passport. That's very important. Yeah, go to CVS, Walgreens, make that appointment at the post office, and get your passport, That's something that you should immediately start working on, is getting your passport. And then once you do that, once you get that applied for and everything, that's going to take at least 4 to 6 weeks, maybe longer, for you to get your passport. And if you're somebody who hasn't applied for a passport yet, or don't have one, when you do apply for one, make sure you check off on the application that you want a passport card as well. It'll probably cost another $30, but it's good to have the passport and the passport card. Because, if you're overseas, you really don't want to carry around your original passport with you. So the passport card is good to have as a form of identification while you're overseas. Obviously the passport card, you can't use that to get on a plane, but like I said, it's a good second form of ID to have while you're overseas, while you have your passport locked up somewhere, wherever you're staying at. So that's what you should work on now, is getting your passport, first of all. And then just look at what options you have overseas. Moving overseas is not easy, but one of the easiest ways to do it is, I know a lot of you might think, well, don't I have to get visas and all this stuff to live there and all that? The best way to do that is, whatever country you plan on moving to, find out how long you can stay there as a tourist before you have to apply for a visa. How long can you legally stay, just entering the country with a passport. Most countries have a certain amount of time you can stay there. Maybe it's 90 days, 6 months, or maybe up to a year, depending on the country. And then that's, when you can start planning more, as far as more permanent stay. Yeah, so this is what you should work on if you are, in this group and you plan on leaving the country. And yeah, as far as looking at different types of visas you got to get and everything, you're looking at, maybe digital nomad visas. Right now, there's close to 70 countries offering some form of digital nomad visa, and those will get you, will allow you to stay in the country from anywhere from 6 months to maybe 2 years, depending on the country. And digital nomad visas are pretty much for people that are going to be working overseas, remotely, or however you're going to be working. If you have some type of job, they usually have income requirements that go with it. Monthly income requirements. So that you have to look into as well. Yeah. So, like I said, my most important advice to you, though, is definitely look at what options you have outside of America right now. And these are the things that you should be looking at. Is the best ways for you to get out of the country and be able to live in another country. So yeah, I know that financially, that's your biggest concern. So right now, while you're still in America, you should be looking at your remote job opportunities. And I will admit that those are very slim opportunities getting a remote job. So your best thing to do right now while you're in America is try to figure out how you can generate some online income. What ways can you start making money online through the internet or through ChatGPT, or selling digital products, different platforms, like Gumroad and Canva or something, different things like that. Yeah, so, or the Stanley store. Yeah, so those are things you gotta look at as well. How can you start some type of online business and generate regular income so you can survive living overseas? Start looking at things that you're good at, that you might want to turn into a freelance opportunity. Different things that you enjoy doing. You gotta be good at something. Yeah, so are you good at graphic design? Are you good at web design? Are you good at videography or photography or something? Yeah, so start looking at stuff like that and checking out these different freelancing apps and things like Contra and Fiverr and Upwork, different stuff like that. Yeah, so, and for those of you that have college degrees, you may have even more opportunities overseas. There are a lot of countries that are hiring educated foreigners, for different things. So if you have a college degree, you should start looking at different work opportunities of different companies, overseas. And I will tell you that one country you should definitely look at is China. Yeah, China's hiring a lot of foreign workers in different fields, especially those that are educated, that have college degrees, There's thousands of foreign worker jobs they're hiring. Most notably, they're still hiring a lot of foreign teachers to teach English in China. Yeah, so those opportunities there. Now those are, like I said, they're more for people that have the degree. Yeah, and so what I'm going to leave for you guys is a little bonus for you. Yeah, I'm going to leave a couple of websites that are recommended for China jobs, so that you can get steered in the right direction. And you won't be going on websites that, may not be the most approved websites. But I do have a couple of websites that are really good as far as finding jobs in China. Now, as far as the teaching jobs and everything, those in China, those not only require a degree, a lot of them might ask for classroom experience, maybe a couple of years, but some of them don't. But one thing that you will have that you will need besides a degree, you'll need your certification. So you should work on getting your TEFL certification, your TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language. That's something that will definitely be good to go along with your degree that can help you get you at least get you a teaching job overseas, the TEFL. Now, it's not that expensive to get that. You can look on Groupon and put a search in for TEFL, certification, and they'll probably have some deals on classes. It's a 120-hour course, so you're going to need that. And like I said, I'll leave you that bonus. I'll leave you a couple of websites that you can check out, for China jobs. All right. Now, a lot of these China jobs, not only do they pay you a pretty decent salary, but a lot of them give you a housing allowance. A lot of them also give you help with, whatever visas you need, to get there, and live while you're working. I know it sounds like something crazy because you probably heard some of the Western propaganda about China, but from what I know and when I'm speaking to different people who have lived there and everything, I've never been myself, but I heard there's a lot of good opportunities there, and it's a much better place to live than what you might hear about. So that's another opportunity for you. But the most important thing for you right now, for those of you that are in the United States, is start looking for whatever opportunities you can, where you can maybe leave the country, because like I said, I'm not being an alarmist or nothing like that, and I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just going by what I see every day, yeah, I'm here in Colombia watching the news and stuff, and I see a very bleak outcome, Not going to get too deep into it because I don't want to be political, but yeah, so my advice, is, you got to start looking at whatever options you have outside of the United States. Don't just sit there and then wait till it's too late and you can't leave or something, because they don't went into some kind of lockdown mode or something like North Korea or whatever, and they ain't letting nobody go. All right, right now you need to see how you can get out of there. Even if you have a family right now and you're in that 21 to 40 age group, there's ways you can move with a family. Countries overseas, they have international schools with bilingual curriculum and everything, so your kids can get school. Yeah, it's not as difficult as you think. You gotta get rid of the defeatist mentality, you can do it. There's ways that you can move out of the United States. You don't have to be rich to do it. It doesn't. It's, like I said, it's not something only for the wealthy. Yeah, it's just more of a mindset thing. You just gotta put your mind to it. But like I said, that's the advice that I can give you right now for people that are in this age group. Marginalized groups. It don't look good right now in the United States. It looks downright scary for you. So I would be wrong not to keep it real with you and tell you that everything's gonna be all right and to just stay right there. That's not good, realistic advice right now. Yeah, so I really appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. I'm saying, Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the video. Make sure y'all like and share the video. And, subscribe to my channel if you are new watching. I really appreciate the support. Like I said, I was out for a little bit, a little down and out, health-wise. Had to move and stuff, but I'm still here. I'm still going to be making my videos. So I appreciate y'all hanging in there with you. It's the old head abroad, KJ Mack.